we are going to learn the remaining portion of our lesson, reproduction in plants. Reproduction in plants. So today we learn about a new topic, that is spore formation. That is spore formation. Okay. So some fungus reproduce through spore. They form spores, then they reproduce. Okay. For example for fungus, if we take a piece of bread, then add some water into it, then keep it aside for some days. After some days, we can see what, yes, there is something green colored, blue colored, something is growing on the surface of the moist bread. That is called a fungus. Okay. So the fungus cannot be viewed or seen through our naked eyes. It is very microscopic. So if we see, then some spores, that means some greenish, yellow or blue colored substances are formed on the surface of the surface of the bread. Then it is grow up. So that is called as spores. On the surface of that is called as spores. Okay, that spores helps to reproduce. That these spores are sexual reproductive body. Each spore is covered with a protective coat. Then some unfavorable conditions like a high temperature and a low humidity. It is protected with a protective coat. Then so they can survive for a long time, and also under favorable conditions a spore germinates and develops into a new individual. The spore germinates and develops into a new individuals. Okay, so like a fungus, moss and ferns also reproduce by means of spores. They reproduce by through forming spores. Okay, all of you understood? So once again, spore formation fern, then moss, etc. So here reproduction through spore formation in fungus is given in your textbook, page number 136. So first one, hypha. Hypha is the root of that fungus. Okay. Then we know the fungus are present in the atmospheric air. So that fungus on a bread piece grow from spores which are present in the air itself. Okay, so we can see spores, then it is covered with a protected layer, that is called sporangium. Okay, then under favorable conditions they germinates and develops into a new individuals. Okay, so spore formation takes place in fern, mosses, then in fungus. Okay. Next one, sexual reproduction. Reproduction. Okay. We know for sexual reproduction, we know what do you mean by sexual reproduction? The sexual reproduction means the new plants are obtained from where? New plants are obtained from seeds. Okay, then plants are obtained from seeds. So which part of a plant helps for sexual reproduction? Yes, flowers. Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. Which is the reproductive part of a plant? Flowers. Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. Reproductive part of a plant. Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. Okay, it helps to produce, the flowers helps to produce fruits and seeds. Fruits and seeds through reproduction. It helps to produce, the flowers helps to produce fruits and seeds through reproduction. Through which process? Yes, reproduction. Through reproduction. Okay, so once again about sexual reproduction, we know the sexual reproduction means the new plants are formed with the seeds, or formed from the seeds with the help of seeds. Okay, so which part of a plant is the reproductive part? Yes, flowers. Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. Okay, then the flowers helps to produce fruits and seeds through reproduction. Flowers and fruits and seeds through sexual reproduction. Through which reproduction? Sexual and asexual reproductions are there. So the flowers helps to produce fruits and seeds through sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Okay, in sexual reproduction, how a sexual reproduction takes place? In sexual reproduction, a male cell is produced by the male part of a flower. Then next, then we know that which are the different parts of a flower. A flower consists of sepals, petals, then stigma, then stamen, then pistil. Which are the different parts of a flower? Which are the different parts of a flower? Yes, different parts of a flower are petals, sepals, then petals, sepals, stigma, stamen, then pistil. Petals, sepals, stamen and pistil. Which are the different parts of a flower? Yes, petals, sepals, stamen and pistil. Petals, sepals, stamen and pistil. Okay, so these are the different parts of a flower. Okay, then first one, petals. Do you know what is petals in a flower? Yes, petals, sepals means petals are the colorful part of a flower. Colorful and most attractive part of the flower. Petals are the colorful and most attractive part of a flower. Colorful and most attractive part. Most attractive part. Then sepals means, the sepals means green flower. So first one, petals. Which are the different parts of a flower? Yes, petals, sepals, stamen and pistil. So here first one, petal. Petal means colorful and most attractive part of a flower. Next one, sepals. Green leaf-like outermost circle. Green leaf-like outermost circle. Green leaf-like outermost circle. Outermost circle is sepals. Then next one, stamen. Next one, stamen. Okay. Stamen is a male reproductive part of a plant. It is a male reproductive part of a plant. Stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive part. Stamen is the male reproductive part. Stamen is the male reproductive part of a plant. Stamen is the male reproductive part. Then the stamen is made up of two parts, filament and anther. The stamen is made up of two parts, that is filament and anther. Stamen is the male reproductive part of a flower. Male reproductive part. Male reproductive part of a flower is stamen. So it is made up of, the stamen is made up of two parts. First one, filament. Then second one, anther. Filament and anther. Filament is the stalk of stamen. The stalk of stamen is called a filament. Stalk of stamen is called a filament. Then anther is the swollen top of stamen. Swollen top of stamen. Anther. Okay, so in your textbook, the different two parts of stamen is given here. This is stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive part of a plant. Then here it consists of two parts, filament and anther. Filament is the stalk of stamen. Then anther is the swollen top of stamen. Okay. Then the stamen contains pollen grains. The stamen contains what? It contains pollen grains. It contains what? Pollen grains. So the pollen grains means the pollen grains consist of male gametes. Inside the pollen grains or which have male gametes. Inside the pollen grain, male gamete is present. Male gamete or male cell, male reproductive cell, male gamete is present in it. Inside the pollen grain. The pollen grain is present in where? Which part of a flower? Yes, stamen. The stamen consists of pollen grains. Inside the pollen grains, the male gamete is there. The pollen grains appears as the yellow powder-like substance which is sticky in nature. The pollen grains appears like yellow colored substance which is sticky in nature. What is the about stamen. So stamen is the main reproductive part of a plant. So the stamen consists of two parts, filament and anther. Filament is the stalk of stamen, anther is the swollen top of stamen. So the stamen contains pollen grains. The pollen grain appears as a yellow colored powder like the substances which is sticky in nature. Then the pollen inside the pollen grains, the main gamete is there. Okay. Next one, pistil. Next part of the flower is the pistil. Next one, pistil. It is the female reproductive part of a flower. Pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower. Female reproductive part. Part of a flower. This is the female reproductive part of a flower. Pistil. Okay. Then that lies in the center of a flower. It lies in the center of a flower, which is made up of three parts. The pistil is made up of three parts. First one, stigma, style and ovary. Stigma, style, then ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is the top part of the pistil. Stigma is the top part of the pistil. Top part of the pistil. Stigma is the top part of the pistil. Then style. Then the stigma receives pollen grains. We know pistil is the female reproductive parts. Then pollen grains contains male gametes. So the stigma receives the pollen grains from the anther. Okay, the anther contains what? Anther contains pollen grains. The pollen grains means the yellow powder like a substance. Okay, so just sticky in nature. So the pistil consists of three parts: stigma, style and ovary. So that stigma is the top part of the pistil. So it receives pollen grains from anther. Then style is the middle part of the pistil. It's a tube-like structure, then which connects stigma to the ovary. Which connects stigma to the ovary. Then ovary means the ovary contains one or more ovules. Then the female gamete or the egg is formed in an ovule. Okay. Style is the middle part of the tube, middle part. Style is the middle part of the pistil. It connects stigma and ovary. It connects stigma and ovary. Then ovary means inside the ovary, this is swollen part, that inside the ovary ovules are there. Then each ovule contains a female gamete. It contains a female gamete. Okay. Then we know through sexual reproduction, a male gamete is produced by the male part of a flower. Which main part of a flower? Yes, stamen. So inside the stamen there is anther is there. That anther contains pollen grains. That inside the pollen grains male reproductive male gamete is there. Then that male part of a flower which fuses with the female cell produced by the female part of a flower pistil. Inside the pistil there is ovary is there. That ovary produce the female gamete. So the male and female gametes fuse to form fuse to form what male gamete and female gametes fuse to form zygote. Through which method? Yes, through fertilization. Okay, so once again we know that in a sexual reproduction the male part the male cell is produced by the male part of a flower which fuses with the female cell produced by the female part of a flower. Then these cells are called gametes. These cells are called gamete. Then the male gamete and the female gamete fuse to the male gamete and the female gamete fuse to form a zygote. The male gamete and the female gamete fuse to form what? Yes, zygote. The male gamete. Male gamete means what? Male gamete means what? The male part of a cell which produce the what? Male gamete. A male cell is produced by the. Just a male cell. Male gamete means male cell produced by the male reproductive cell. Male cell. Okay. Then the male gamete is fused with the female gamete. Female gamete, that is the female cell. To form what? Yes, zygote. Through which method? Fertilization. Fertilization. Okay. Then, okay, I think all of you understood about fertilization, how fertilization is formed. Okay. Fertilization means the cell which results after fusion of male and female gametes to form a zygote. The process of fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Then the zygote develops into an embryo. The zygote develops into an embryo. It develops into an embryo. It develops into an embryo. Okay, so once again about the male gamete and the female gamete fuse to form. The process of fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. It form zygote. Then that zygote develops into an embryo. Next we learn about types of flowers. Next one, types of flowers. Types of flowers. First one, unisexual flowers and bisexual flowers. First one, unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers and bisexual flowers. bisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers means the flowers which contain either only the pistil or only the stamens are called unisexual. Only stamen or pistil. Only either only the stamen or pistil. Only the stamen or pistil is called unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers. Then bisexual flowers means the flowers which contain both the stamens and pistil. Contains both the stamens and pistil. Both the stamen and pistil. Both the stamen and pistil are called bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers. Okay. Then example for unisexual flowers like a corn, papaya, cucumber, etc. are unisexual flowers. Example for unisexual flowers are corn, then papaya, etc. Corn, papaya, then cucumber are example for unisexual flowers. Example corn, papaya, then cucumber, etc. are example for unisexual flowers. Then example for bisexual flowers. Example for bisexual flowers are mustard, rose, petunia, etc. Example for bisexual flowers are mustard, then rose, then petunia, etc. are example for bisexual flowers. So once again, the types of flowers: unisexual flowers and bisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers which contain either only the stamen or only the pistil, that is called the unisexual flowers. Example corn, papaya, cucumber, etc. Next one, bisexual flowers means which contain both the stamen and the pistil are called bisexual flowers. Example mustard, rose, petunia, etc. Petunia, etc. Okay, next one, pollination. Next topic, pollination. Have you heard about pollination? Yes, it is related with the pollen grains. It is related with the pollen grains. It is related with the pollen grain. That is means pollination. Pollination. That means pollination. Okay, what do you mean by pollination? The transfer of pollen grains. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Okay, paraganam. Okay, pollination means we know that where is pollen grains found? Yes, in anther. The pollen grains are found in where? Anther. So inside the anther, what is present? Yes, inside the anther, the male gamete is there. So the transfer of pollen grains, that means the male gamete from the anther to the stigma of a flower. We know the stigma contains 3 parts. Then what? Stigma contains stigma and ovary are the different parts of pistil. So the stigma contains what? Stigma of a flower contains what? Yes, the female gamete. So the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. What do you mean by pollination? Transfer of what? Pollen grains, pollen to where? To the pollen grains from anther to the stigma. Pollen where from the anther to where to stigma of a flower. That is called, that process is called what? Pollination. Pollination are of two types. First one, self-pollination and cross-pollination. First one, self-pollination. Self-pollination. Then second one, cross-pollination. Self-pollination and cross-pollination. Okay, first one, self-pollination. First one, self-pollination means if the pollen grains lands on the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. We know the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Pollination are of two types, self-pollination and what? Cross-pollination. So, self-pollination means, so the pollination takes place inside the flower itself of the same plant. Okay, that means the pollen grains land on the stigma of the same flower from the anther of the same flower. That is called self-pollination. Okay, then if the pollen lands on the stigma of this same flower is called self-pollination. Then cross-pollination means when the pollen of a flower lands on the stigma of another flower of the same plant or that of a different plant of the same kind, it is called cross-pollination. It is called cross-pollination. Okay. പരാഗണം രണ്ട് തരത്തിലുണ്ട്. സെൽഫ് അതായത് സ്വയം പരാഗണമുണ്ട്, അല്ലാതെ ക്രോസ് ആയിട്ട് പരാഗണം നടക്കുകയും ചെയ്യും. അതായത് സെൽഫ് പോളിനേഷൻ പരാഗണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ഫ്ലവറിലെ ആന്തറിൽ നിന്നും പോളൻ ഗ്രെയിൻസ്, അതായത് പൂമ്പൊടി പോളൻ ഗ്രെയിൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. ആ പോളൻ ഗ്രെയിൻസ് എവിടെ വന്ന് വീഴും? സ്റ്റിഗ്മയിലേക്ക് വന്ന് വീഴുന്ന പ്രോസസ്സാണ് പോളിനേഷൻ. ദെൻ സെൽഫ് പോളിനേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പോളൻ ഗ്രെയിൻസ് അതേ ഫ്ലവറിൻ്റെ സ്റ്റിഗ്മയിൽ തന്നെ വന്ന് വീഴുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനെ സെൽഫ് പോളിനേഷൻ എന്നും, ക്രോസ് പോളിനേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ഫ്ലവറിലെ പോളൻ ഗ്രെയിൻസ് ആ പ്ലാന്റിലുള്ള വേറൊരു ഫ്ലവറിൻ്റെ സ്റ്റിഗ്മയിലേക്ക് പോയി വീഴുകയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതേ കൈൻഡിലുള്ള അതേ പ്ലാന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള മറ്റു വേറൊരു പ്ലാന്റിൻ്റെ ഫ്ലവറിലെ സ്റ്റിഗ്മയിലേക്ക് പോയി വീഴുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രോസസ്സാണ് ക്രോസ് പോളിനേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ വൺസ് അഗെയിൻ, പോളിനേഷൻ മീൻസ് the transfer of pollens from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Self-pollination means if the pollen lands on the stigma of the same flower is called self-pollination. Cross-pollination means when the pollen lands on the stigma of another flower of the same plant or the another flower of the or that of a different plant of the same kind, it is called cross pollination. Okay, so here fertilization, zygote formation is given in your textbook. How zygote form? Yes, the male gamete fuse with the female gamete to form the zygote. That zygote develops into an embryo. Okay, next is fertilization. We know that process is called fertilization. For the process of formation of zygote is called fertilization. Next, fruits and seeds formation. Next, fruits and seeds formation. We know through fertilization the embryo is developed. Then after fertilization the ovary grows into a fruit and other parts of the flower fall off. Ovary grows into a fruit and other parts of the flowers are fall down. Okay. Then the fruit is the ripened ovary. The seeds developed from the ovules. Then the seed contains an embryo enclosed in a protective seed coat. Okay, so in this way the seeds are formed. In which way the seeds are formed? Yes, we know through through fertilization, that means the male gamete and the female gametes fuse to form a zygote. That zygote develops into an embryo. Then after fertilization, that embryo, that means inside the embryo, that ovary grows into a fruit and other parts of the flowers are fall off. Then the fruit is the ripened ovary. Then the seeds develop from the ovules. Then the seeds contains an embryo that enclosed in a protective seed coat. Next is seed dispersal. Next one. Seed dispersal. How seeds dispersed? Yes, we know that the seeds dispersal means the process by which the seeds are scattered to different places is called the seeds dispersal. Seeds dispersal. What do you mean by seeds dispersal? Yes, the process by which the seeds are scattered to different places is called seeds dispersal. Okay, the seeds dispersal takes place with the help of air, water and animals. Wind, water and animals. Seeds and fruits of plants are carried away by wind, water and animals. So we know some seeds have wings. So such seeds, wings present seeds are drumstick and maple. So in your textbook, the figures of drumstick, seeds of drumstick and maple is given. So it contains wings. So that wings helps to fly that seeds. Then maple and light seeds of grasses or hairy seeds of ash and hairy fruit of sunflower get blown off with the wind to faraway places. Example for the seeds which fly in air are drumstick, maple, then hairy seeds like arc, hairy sunflower, seeds of sunflower, etc. will flow with the wind to faraway places. Then some seeds are dispersed by water. How? Yes, these seeds develop floating ability in the form of spongy or fibrous outer coat present like the coconut. So it helps to swim in water. Okay. Then some seeds are carried away by animals. So some seeds are attacked with the body of some animals or human beings. Then that animals or human beings carries these seeds to distant places. The seeds like the urena and the sandium. Okay, next some seeds are dispersed when the fruits burst with sudden jerks. We know rubber seeds of rubbers are burst with the sudden jerks. Then next balsam. Okay, balsam means kashitum. Balsam, we all know about balsam. Then castor, that means avanak. That is also burst out with a sudden jerks. So the seeds are scattered in long distances. Okay, so in this way the seeds are dispersed. What is meant by seed dispersal? The process by which the seeds are scattered to different places are called seeds dispersal. The seeds and fruits are carried away by wind, water and animals. So the winged seeds are drumstick, maple, ash, then seeds of sunflower, etc. Then the seeds which swim. The seeds like a coconut and also swim in water to long distances. Then another type of seeds travel with the help of animals. They attack the body of animals. Then that animals travel long distances. So in this way, the that seeds travel to long distances. Then some seeds are dispersed when the fruits burst with sudden jerks, like balsam, castor, etc. So students, so let's wind up the class. Our lesson is over. So all of you read your textbook, then write your notes properly on your notebook. So if you have any doubt, ask me. Okay, children, thank you.